In the headlines, troops neutralize notorious bandit commander Dogo Maikaswa in Kaduna. Federal government moves to rearraign Nnamdi Kanu, files 7-count amended charge. Nigeria Railway Property Management moves to secure properties nationwide. And on the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden urges world leaders to step up in tackling climate crisis at COP27. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. We begin with security. A notorious bandits commander, popularly called Dogo Maikaswa, has been killed by security forces during a clearance operation in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, confirmed the killing to newsmen. Aruwan disclosed that the notorious bandit, in the company of his foot soldiers, ran into an ambush by security operatives in a forest at the Gengere Kaso general area around the Chikun and Kajuru boundaries. According to him, security forces recovered one AK-47 rifle, one magazine, 5 rounds of ammunition, 2 motorcycles, and 1 set of camouflage military fatigues from them. Other bandits, he added, escaped with gunshot wounds, while one of them died from the injuries sustained in the fierce battle. The Plateau State Police Command has paraded suspected criminals for kidnapping, vandalism, culpable homicide, and unlawful possession of firearms in the state. Parading the suspects at the headquarters of the command, the commissioner said the suspects who confessed to the crimes were arrested following intelligence reports on the activities of the criminals. Ado Musa reports.
While parading the suspects, the commissioner said the command has put together various strategies to prevent crimes in the state. He said the police will not relent in ensuring that perpetrators face consequences of their criminal actions.
The successes recorded, particularly from Wase and the Buguri area, the areas will be having one problem or the other, we're able to get some of the criminals that have been disturbing us there, and we're able to neutralize one and recovered an AK-47 rifle with 8 rounds of ammunition.
Commenting on the woman that was abducted in Gimbi village of Wase local government area of the state, the commissioner said the police had arrested the kidnappers and had rescued the victim and her. He then warned the public to always be mindful of their surroundings, as most abductions were done with the connivance of an insider.
Well as the nursing mother with her 2-year-old daughter. It was a very big story in the town. And I just want to let you know that we are not just resting on our hours. We are working, and God being on our side, we are able to crack them. Apart from rescuing them on halt, they have been reunited with their families and they are living their normal life today.
One of the suspected abductors told newsmen that the victim was kidnapped because her husband allegedly stole 3 rounds from them. We kidnapped the woman because her husband stole 3 rams from our house. So, initially we went to the house to kidnap her husband, but we couldn't meet him in the house. We then decided to kidnap the wife. The Plateau Commissioner of Police, however, advised public to report all suspicious movements and persons to the police and other law enforcement agencies to help rid the state of criminalities. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Still on security, with just 104 days to the 2023 general elections, the National Security Advisor to the President, Babagana Monguno, has advised those with the intention to disrupt the peaceful conduct of the election to desist from doing so or face the wrath of the law. The National Security Advisor, who gave the warning to political parties during an emergency meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security with INEC, said security agencies will not sit idle and allow anyone to disrupt the election. Noel Sampson tells us more.
The emergency security meeting became necessary after INEC's offices in Ogun and Osun State were attacked by thugs. According to reports, some unidentified persons overpowered the security personnel on duty and set both office buildings ablaze.
While the attack and consequential damage in Ede South was minimal, that of Abeokuta South was extensive. Materials destroyed include 904 ballot boxes, 29 voting cubicles, 8 electric power generators, 57 election bags, 30 megaphones, 65,699 uncollected PVCs, and a host of other assorted items such as stamps and stamp pads.
National Security Advisor to the President, Babagana Maguno, however, reassured the public that the security agencies are going to do everything within their power to ensure that Nigerians have peaceful elections come 2023. The security advisors want those who may want to use the means that are unorthodox to stabilize an already delicate situation to think, as the law will not allow such person to go unpunished.
I want to assure you that the security agencies have been given clear-cut instructions to preempt and deal with any situation in which any rogue organization or institution decides to embark on what we consider to be a fundamentally criminal enterprise or undertaking. You lose your marbles or you allow your cheese to slide off the cracker, you will be brought to book.
On the spot, the Inspector General of Police said the police are ready to exhibit the highest level of professionalism and perseverance within the confines of the law to ensure law and order before, during, and after 2023 polls.
We have witnessed sabotage to the general election by destroying and attacking INEC offices, personnel, and so forth. It is our determination to ensure that these things are put to rest very quickly to enable us to forge ahead and conduct these general elections.
Despite the attacks on INEC's facilities, the Commission said it is committed to delivering smooth elections, urging all and sundry to play their part in ensuring the end goal is achieved. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Moving to politics, former President Goodluck Jonathan has debunked reports that 5 aggrieved governors of the People's Democratic Party, known as the G5, are fighting his cause. The former president also urged warring members of the party to settle their differences ahead of the 2023 general elections, according to a statement released by his special advisor, Ikechukwu Eze. For months, the PDP G5 governors, namely Samuel Ortom of Benue State, Seyi Makinde of Oyo, Nyesom Wike of Rivers, Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia, and Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu have been consistent in their demand that Iyorchia Ayu should step down as PDP national chairman as a precondition to campaign for PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Jonathan was reportedly called to intervene in the G5 Ayu row. Eze, in the statement, said it is not out of place for Jonathan to be called upon to intervene in the crisis. The Federal High Court in Uyo has dismissed the case of forgery against the 2023 governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State, Umo Eno. The case was dismissed for lack of merit. An ex-aspirant for the governorship ticket, Akan Okon, had sued Eno for alleged falsification of his 1981 West African Senior School Certificate Examination result and 1983 General Certificate of Education, Voter's Card, and Birth Certificate. Okon had told the court to disqualify Eno and declare him winner of the primary and governorship candidate of the party in Akwa Ibom. Delivering judgment in the case on Friday, Justice Agatha Okeke dismissed the case for want of merit. Justice Okeke, who rules that all the claims made by the plaintiff were based on assumptions and suppositions, awarded a cost of 15 million naira against the plaintiff. The federal government has filed an amended 7 counts of terrorism charges against the detained leader of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, at the Federal High Court, Abuja. This has come in after the Court of Appeal discharged Kanu of all the terrorism allegations, as well as appeals on the subject matter still pending before the Supreme Court. The amended charges were entered before the Federal High Court in Abuja and contained all earlier sustained allegations against the IPOB leader. Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court Abuja has subsequently fixed next Monday for Kanu's team of lawyers and the federal government's prosecution team to address the court on whether the federal government could proceed to rearraign the IPOB leader on the amended charges despite the October 13 judgment of the Court of Appeal that freed him. The federal government in the amended charges alleged that Kanu had issued a deadly threat via broadcast heard and received across the country that anyone who disobeyed his sit-at-home order in the southeastern states should write his or her will. Similarly, lawyers of the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, led by Mike Ozekeme, have been drawn to a much publicized but rumored fresh 7-count amended charge allegedly filed against Kanu by the federal government. In a statement issued by one of Kanu's lawyers, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lawyers noted that the alleged new charge has the same charge number as the one already pronounced upon and struck out by the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, and has not been set aside by any superior court. The government had filed an appeal challenging the decision of the Court of Appeal on October 13, which discharged all remaining charges preferred against Kanu at the Supreme Court. No date has been fixed for hearing of the appeal at the Supreme Court. Moving away from that story, Nigerian Railway Property Management Company is making moves to reclaim land property belonging to Nigeria Railway from people who encroached on such lands nationwide. Managing Director of the Railway Property Management Company, Timothy Zalanga, while inspecting some areas in Kaduna where people illegally occupied their properties, said the move will ensure railway properties are safeguarded, especially as the government is trying to revive the sector. Bello Musa reports.
Inspecting some of the affected areas in Kaduna where people encroach on the railway property for years, Zalanga wondered those claiming ownership of the railway property to desist from such claims.
I'm sure all of you who are quite aware that railway is one of the largest property owner in Nigeria. And over the years, these lands are gradually beginning to get out of sight, out of records. The good thing about railway land is that it is well accounted for. You can see the extent. We have all the drawings of railway line nationwide, so you can't run away from it. It's only that over the time we have been taking it a little bit low profile, but now we're ready for the big fight.
According to him, apart from individuals, government agencies are some of the culprits encroaching on the railway property.
So that is the major challenge that we have dealing with government agencies. It's very easy when you deal with individuals, be able to determine the extent of encouragement. Now, we can't say for sure for now, because what we can tell you is that on paper, we know the extent of railway land nationwide.
Some of the areas visited in Kaduna include Birnin Yaro, Kakuri, Monday Market, Abakpa, Sabon Tasha, and Television Garage. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Makurdi residents lament economic downturn. Do stay with us.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that troops neutralized notorious bandit commander Dogo Maikaswa in Kaduna. We also told you that federal government moves to rearraign Nnamdi Kanu, files 7-count amended charge. Moving to more news. Driving in Abuja is no longer fun due to recklessness of motorists. Motorists have on several occasions been called upon to desist from committing traffic infractions while plying the busy roads in the Federal Capital Territory. Trust TV's Kabir Lawal reports on how motorists that violate traffic rules can be made to pay a price, thereby reducing the menace to the barest minimum. His report.
Numbers of vehicles plying the roads in Abuja can be as many as one could imagine. Violation of traffic rules is common often in the presence of law enforcement officers. Head of Public Relations of the Directorate of Road Transport Service, Kalu Emetu, said the call for drivers to respect traffic rules has become necessary in view of its frequent violation.
Now somebody sees a red light, traffic light showing red, and he's speeding. Something is wrong. And such person is supposed to be subjected to such tests. And that is one of the things we are doing. We have been taking so many vehicle drivers to psychiatrists. We've taken them to such people who evaluate their mental stability. All these things are to ensure that people behave normal.
He said that the Directorate will soon commence aggressive enforcement against route violation, warning that the Directorate will not fold its arms and allow motorists engage on reckless driving on the roads.
You don't have to operate or pick passengers while on the roads. You have to clear, enter designated areas, which is the garage we talked about. When you make use of all these facilities provided for this kind of services, that is when government will say yes, people are making use of the infrastructure they've provided.
Road users called on drivers with penchant for traffic rules violation to be law-abiding at all times to make the roads more safer and also park in various designated centers.
The little advice I have for reckless driving in Abuja is at least some drivers don't have good tires. That's one of the good things about it. They don't have good tires. They don't care about the tires they have in their car. So sometimes it fails. And one of the reckless driving, Abuja have a very good road. They have a very good road network. But the driving of a thing is, some people don't even know how to use the lane.
Them is that they should be careful and they should be focused and they should be patient whenever they are on the route. Whenever they are on steering, they should be patient. Patient is the only thing.
Kalu Emetu further revealed that punitive measures will be imposed against traffic offenders, endangering lives of other motorists by driving recklessly.
No matter how you treat them, they will always operate on the road. We always have answer for them. These are the people who impound the vehicle. Impounding the vehicle is when we have explained to them the reason why they have to operate inside the garage. Like telling them when you go in there, you ensure that there is orderly on our roads. When you go in there, you are contributing, having a good environment where people will say yes.
About 32,617 people have lost their life to road crashes in Nigeria since 2016 till date. And according to sources, most of these accidents in Nigeria are fatal. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Moving on, with just 7 weeks to Christmas, marketers across Nigeria are lamenting low patronage as inflation hits. The markets that are supposed to be bubbling with traders and buyers, as was the tradition during festivities in the country, is witnessing unprecedented economic challenge. In Makudi, Jimmy Azande was at the high-level market to assess the situation.
Usually on a day like this market will be congested to the brim with human and vehicular movements trying to make purchases for the coming festivity. But with economic downturn, Residents say they are now only bothered with how to feed their family and attend to pressing issues.
They don't finish us. Now die we they die. You sit down for market for morning till night. We know they sell shishi. As we come, now so we they go. We go sit down for 1 hour, 2 hours. I never see person say pam pam because of the costly price of things in the market.
The normal price of gold then it was 30,000. That is the biggest gold, but now you won't see a big gold for 30,000. If you are saying it's about 50,000 and 60,000 above. Chicken then it was highest during festive period. You will see a chicken of 3.5 that is reasonable. Now you can't see a chicken of 3.5 that is reasonable unless 7,000.
The traders also lamented poor patronage. To them, it has never been this bad. This has led to the closure of many shops as some can no longer cope with shop rents and taxes.
As of last week, local rice goes for 30,000. As of yesterday, it goes for 33,500 as of yesterday. Oil, King's oil goes for 6,600 as of last week. Presently, we are selling for 7,300 based on the increment of market. So the Semovita, which people were managing, was sold for 6,400 before, as of last week. Presently, we are selling for 6,700.
They pray and hope that the crop of leadership in 2023 will change the situation for good. They said the prices of items like foodstuff and textiles have skyrocketed beyond the reach of ordinary Nigerians.
So even eat on daily basis is a very big task to parents. And so I want to advise the government to do something to this economy.
It is obvious that people are reacting to the harsh economic reality in the country, which has gotten worse due to the recent flooding coupled with.
Sokoto is one of the few states in northern Nigeria endowed in animal production. It is estimated that the state has a total population of 2.9 million goats, 3.4 million cattle, 1.9 million sheep, and 40,000 donkeys. Despite the endowment, majority of the people in the state do not eat goat meat. In this report, Yusha'u Adamu finds out why. His report.
Despite their affection for domestic animals' meat and the immense contribution to its production, majority of the people of Sokoto do not eat goat meat. Neither at suya joints nor at restaurants or hotels can someone get cooked or roasted goat meat to buy within the state capital.
Some people believe that this stems from the leader of the Jihad, Sheikh Usman Danfodio, that it was said that at the beginning of the Jihad, he made a promise that if God helps him and succeed in execution of the Jihad, he will at the end abandon or leave one of the things he loved. And it is said that he loved goat meat very well. And for that, he decided to leave the consumption of goat meat.
It is also unusual for an average Sokoto man to slaughter goat during festivities such as Salah, naming, and wedding ceremonies. Courtesy of this tradition, majority of goats produced in Sokoto are being taken to southwest and the neighboring states of Kano, Katsina, and Kaduna for consumption. Goat meat is good, which Islam allows us to eat, and it has nutritious value to our health more than ram meat. But the people of Sokoto believe that if they eat it, they will get rashes. Consequently, the few goats that are being locally processed in the state capital are largely consumed by other tribes. However, the impact of the long-standing tradition is more pronounced in the urban areas than in the rural.
some people are allergic to goat meat. You understand? When they eat goat meat, they'll become allergic. That is what we call the rashes will come out from their body.
However, if the government can find a lasting solution to the allergic problem associated with goat meat, this notion can be changed. From Sokoto, Yushau Adamu, Trust TV News.
Very interesting story there. Now, on the foreign scene, President Joe Biden vowed at UN climate talks on Friday that the United States was on track to slash its carbon emissions, urging all nations to ramp up their own efforts to avert catastrophic global warming. His speech came at the halfway point of the two-week COP24 conference in Egypt, where rich polluters like the U.S. are under pressure to finally provide the funding developing countries have been promised in the battle against climate change. Biden touted the passage of a massive $369 billion spending package to green the U.S. economy as an achievement that will shift the paradigm for his country and the entire world. In an hours-long visit to Egypt before heading to Asia for Asian and G20 summits, Biden said the United States will meet its goal of cutting emissions 50 to 52% below 2005 levels by 2030. He also announced plans to step up efforts to cut methane emissions, a major contributor to global warming, by plugging fossil fuel leaks and requiring companies to act on leaks reported by credible third parties. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Hosseina Usman. Thanks for watching.